Welcome to this explainer. Right now, companies are spending thousands of dollars, not to mention months of valuable time, just teaching their brand new hires how to use basic analytics tools. It's a huge bottleneck. So today, we're unpacking exactly how Admarg Digital connects academic learning with corporate expectations to build future-ready talent and honestly, bypass that massive bottleneck entirely. Let's get right into it.
Let's kick things off with a pretty wild number, straight from our source material. 95%. That is the placement improvement they're seeing. And look, this isn't just some fluffy vanity metric. It's literally the ultimate goal of these campus programs. Admarg Digital has already empowered over 5,000 students across more than 100 collaborating colleges. But it begs the question, right? How do you actually achieve a 95% jump in getting students hired? Well, you have to fundamentally change both what they're learning and how they're learning it.
So here's our roadmap for today. 1. Bridging the skills gap. 2. Foundational tracking. 3. Internships and hackathons. 4. GA4 and GTM mastery. 5. The engagement process. And 6. The mutual victory.
All right, Section 1, Bridging the Skills Gap, Academia versus Industry.
Think about standard academia. It is absolutely fantastic for providing foundational theory, but the corporate world, they demand execution from day one. They really don't want textbook answers. They want graduates who have wrestled with messy, real-world business scenarios. So Admarg Digital solves this by injecting an industry-led curriculum right into the campus ecosystem. They bring in actual working practitioners to teach live industry projects, which directly addresses the massive real-world cost of this knowledge gap.
Moving right along to Section 2, Foundational Tracking and Practical Campus Skills. Imagine cramming highly valuable skills into intense, focused, 2 to 4 day on-campus programs. Under website tracking and analytics, students aren't just learning what analytics is in theory, they're getting their hands dirty with event schemas, data layer design, and debugging workflows that leading product teams use every day. And in the AI-powered digital marketing program, they dive deep into generative AI for content creation, SEO, and paid media. It bypasses all the fluff and goes straight to what hiring managers are literally begging for right now.
Next up, Section 3, Internships and Hackathons, Immersive Learning.
So their Train and Deploy program actually transitions students from campus to corporate through a really rigorous 3 to 6 month time frame. We're not talking about your standard internship where you're filing papers or fetching coffee. No way. Admarg structures this with expert training, live client projects, mock interviews, and active placement assistance. They're practically hand-holding the students across the bridge they've built, making sure they have the confidence and, crucially, the portfolio to actually land the job.
Now, if the internship is a marathon, the industry-ready analytics and AI hackathon is absolutely the sprint. For a rapid injection of practical experience, this 2-day event forces students to solve real analytics problems in a highly competitive, team-based environment. They literally have to design end-to-end data collection strategies and tracking plans under serious pressure. It's experiential learning at its finest, totally mimicking the high-stakes environment of a modern tech or marketing agency.
Let's dive into Section 4, GA4 and GTM mastery, professional skills.
These specialized 2 to 4 day professional programs prepare students for serious careers in marketing technology. For Google Tag Manager, they get into custom JavaScript and server-side tagging. Actually, let's pause on that. Server-side tagging is incredibly vital right now as third-party cookies disappear, so that's huge. For Google Analytics 4, it's all about ground-up measurement, event configuration, and building meaningful explorations. Imagine a student walking into an interview and casually mentioning they can configure a GA4 data layer and validate it through GTM. They instantly separate themselves from the pack.
Which brings us to Section 5, the Engagement Process Blueprint.
A thriving ecosystem like this doesn't just happen by accident, It follows a very clear 4-step pipeline. Step 1 is aligning the partnership and designing the program to perfectly fit the college's specific streams, whether that's an engineering, MBA, or BCA track. Step 2 brings the industry practitioners directly to campus for the training and hands-on labs. Step 3 tests those brand new skills through hackathons and live projects. And finally, Step 4 finalizes the transition through internships, professional certification, and placement readiness. It is a true end-to-end pipeline.
Finally, let's look at Section 6, the mutual victory, a thriving ecosystem. So, what's in it for the students? Pure, unadulterated employability. They gain practical skills, serious industry mentorship, and professional certifications.
When they graduate, they aren't just handing over a piece of paper with a GPA on it. They're handing over a portfolio of live projects they executed using the exact tools the employer uses every single day. I mean, that is how you command attention in today's fiercely competitive job market.
And for the institutions, partnering means elevated placement rates. Remember that 95% improvement we talked about earlier? It also means their faculty are upskilled alongside industry experts. When a college consistently produces graduates who require zero onboarding time because they already know how to implement GA4 or optimize an AI marketing campaign, companies notice, for sure. They come back year after year to recruit from that same talent pool.
To wrap up our explainer today, I want you to ask yourself a question. In an era where corporate onboarding budgets are shrinking fast, are your graduates truly ready to execute on day one? The tools are out there, the experts are ready to teach, and the corporate world is waiting. The only question is, are you ready to build the bridge? Thanks so much for joining me, and keep exploring how data-driven training is completely reshaping the future of education.